Yeah, now it's time.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon, Kira.
Hi.
Um, Thank you for agreeing to do the interview.
Hmm.
And this is for my reporting class at Christian University in, well, Regent University in Virginia Beach. And today I just want to get kind of your feedback on who you are. So I'm going to ask you first to introduce yourself and the name of the company you work for.
Hello, my name is Kira Alicia Seale. I work for NBC Universal, and I'm from New Jersey, and now I live in Brooklyn, New York.
Great. And nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And tell me the name of your position. What do you do, and how many years have you been working for NBC Universal?
I'm a media scheduling coordinator. I've had this position now for about a year and a month. Overall, I've worked for NBC Universal for 3 years. So what I do, I schedule two sports networks in California, and basically that means that I work with the traffic commercial team, and I also work with the programming teams in order to ensure that all the shows are built correctly and the resources are good so that it can actually play through the satellites to TV.
Oh, it sounds exciting. It
Yes.
sounds really, really exciting and also challenging, I'm sure, at times. Is it a full work hour? Like, do you pull in a lot of long hours? Is it like crazy, like from morning to well into the evening? Are you on call a lot?
So usually I work anywhere between 35 to 40 hours a
Okay.
week.
Hmm.
And when I leave for the day, I'm lucky. I don't have to worry about any anymore. There's a night crew that handle all of the changes that occur on the nights and weekends.
Mm.
Usually, the first few hours of me being here, yeah, I'm very busy. I have
Hmm.
to not only check the previous day's work is still correct, but I also have to be in preparation for the following day. So, right now, currently, Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Hmm.
So, it's only a 3 day work week, but I still am responsible for all the days leading up until Monday when I'm back at work again.
Hmm.
So, it's very hectic. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds very, very hectic,
Hmm.
and it's definitely it sounds you have a lot to do in order to make sure your everything is done prior and also future as well as the shows are turning all the time. Um, so to that point, what is it about your job that if you can pull out three good areas about your job that you would find interesting, not only for yourself, but maybe for someone else?
Okay, number one, I think it's very interesting that when there are a day of changes, you have to remain calm and
Mm-hmm.
you have to be strategic
Mm-hmm.
and not lose your head and
Mm-hmm.
think about the best way that you can make the updates.
Right.
Before this position, well, before working at NBC Universal, my other jobs were very much, more standard. If you make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
But my first position here, I dealt with live graphics for
Mm.
all the NBC Universal brands, so Oxygen,
Wow.
Bravo, Sci-Fi,
Right.
NBC Universal. So that was just really mind blowing. I used to be like in a control room, making sure tweets were going up the way the
Wow.
client wanted it. So I think this
You were like really in the
position.
trenches of it.
Exactly. And they did all the training
Mm-hmm.
here on the job. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff prior. So I was so blessed to have a manager that was willing to sit with me, teach me the ropes. Same with the position I have now, media scheduling coordinator. I didn't know any of these programs.
Mm-hmm.
I had coworkers that sat with me over, an extended period of time to make sure
Mm-hmm.
I felt comfortable learning the material. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing. NBC Universal will work with you if you're a hard worker,
Mm-hmm.
you're responsible,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a positive attitude. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, it's
Right.
best to have a positive attitude.
Right.
But if they see potential in you and that you want to get the job done,
Mm-hmm.
they will really be willing to teach you.
Right, right. Which is really, really a lot of the different employments that are out here now. You would hope that there's an area where there's growth and also an area of interest that would actually have people to want to pull in more and do more, as the work has to get done either way. And the attitude really, really means a lot, because you want to be user
Definitely.
friendly, you want to be approachable. So that actually makes a lot of sense. And also, it sounds, it would be really inviting for someone on the outside to come in and want to actually be part of an exciting billion-dollar industry such as this. Um, to that point, what is there anything that you could pinpoint for someone that may just be out of college and looking for, I guess, a good footing? I think that would be a good way to look at it. Would you have any encouraging words for that person if they're interested in, I guess, entertainment, broadcast news, or scheduling?
Well, the number one thing I will say to every college student is to try to get internships.
Okay.
I think internships, they really prepare you with what things will be like on the job. So instead of just, following the textbook like classes
Right.
mostly have you do, I think internships really show you what a work day would truly be like, or at least
Right.
you'll get more of an idea. I think it also prepares you to network. In this business, media, entertainment, networking is imperative.
Yes.
You're gonna have to be professional,
Yes.
positive, respectful,
Mm-hmm.
and I think if you show people that you're really willing to get the job done and they can depend on you, that means a lot. And just remember to stay classy,
Yes.
because if people talk, you just always want to make sure you have a good reputation,
Right.
and that you're coming off with your best foot forward. So that's what I would tell college students of any age.
Yeah, that sounds really good, and I think that's a good format to follow. You know, all of this actually derives from good principles that a person comes in with. You can't handhold a person too much, but you want to come in with good, strong values that starts from home. And just because you're going to be dealing with so many different people,
Exactly.
and on different levels too, from executive vice presidents, presidents, chief technical officers, and et cetera. You're really doing well, and you're
Thank
answering, and I
you.
love the way you're answering the questions. And we're going to kind of wind down. Um, what How do you feel you're contributing to NBC Universal?
That's a very good question. So, in my role, we're very behind the scenes. So sometimes certain people, personalities might feel like, oh, we kind of get lost in this whole big group. We actually had a meeting a few months back with the VP, and we talked about that. And for me, though, I feel really valuable every day because I know I'm responsible for these networks. If I made a mistake, we wouldn't even go to air, and knock on wood, thank God, nothing bad like that has happened. But I can see my contributions every day by just knowing my network's still airing. I did a good thing today, and there's also a way to keep track about, just things to be mindful
Right.
for. They have like a traffic ticket system.
Right.
So every day that I don't get a ticket it is just another day I feel really proud of myself and very accomplished. And even when you do get a ticket, it really is for your best interest, just to remind you to try to double check your work, because
Yes.
we're all on the same team, you know what I mean? So
Sounds good.
yeah,
That's good.
I feel like I definitely am making an impact.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to basically hear it from your words, but I definitely feel and
Thank
know that you
you.
are making a good impact in an otherwise very busy industry that's
Yes.
always evolving and turning, and always trying to keep above and with social media, as that is just so vast and diverse, and and deeply cultured. And I think that's really the driving force in a lot of different ways. So just two different questions here. I know that there is a part of you that is in, I believe, production on the side.
Yes.
This is something that you like. And the only reason why I'm touching on that is because it's actually part of the area that you're in,
Mm-hmm.
as far as, where we are, as far as with NBCU. Can you touch on that a little bit and what actually inspired you to get into production, and where do you see yourself as far as a vision?
Oh, sure. So, my current position is very much operations oriented,
Okay.
but I've always been someone who also loves creativity as well. And I knew I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to work in media and entertainment. And actually, one of my really good friends that I used to work with at my previous job for the NBA, he came up with an idea to do like a reality TV show
Mm-hmm.
about a comic book store that he used to work at in
Mm-hmm.
Detroit. And he just randomly asked me if I would want to produce it or be one of the producers. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I never did anything like this before, but you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I'm an open minded person. And at the time, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted my next career move to be. So I was just very open, very humble, eager to learn. And I decided to do it, to take him up on the opportunity. And I just fell in love with it. I loved interviewing people like what you're doing to
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked trying to book locations
Right.
and working with the camera people and trying to figure out the best way we could convey the
Sounds
story.
good.
Yeah, so it just felt like a really good match because it's using my practical skills, but also I have to be creative to think about the storyline and how
Mm-hmm.
we want to film it. So, yeah, I'm still definitely hopeful that eventually I can transition into more of a
Mm.
producer role, or
Right.
who knows, a writer. The sky's the limit,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just grateful that I have people that I've met that believe in me and that are willing to give me a shot to try new things.
That sounds excellent.
Thank
I have
you.
one more question for you.
Hmm.
In your expertise, what could you offer the public?
That is a great question. What can I offer? Well, I think I can offer the public inspiration. I think there's a lot of pessimism these days, unfortunately. It's just a lot that we see
Mm-hmm.
in the news,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people that are angry and hurt
Yes.
and dealing with a lot. And I
Yes.
think I'm someone, I just always try my best to be empathetic
Mm-hmm.
and to lend a listening ear and to try to spread light and love in any way that I can.
Right.
So I don't know, I would just be a champion, whether that's sitting down with someone and looking at their resume and helping them with their resume, or I'm also a member of this community service committee at my job for the Black Employment Network. And
Mm-hmm.
even last week, we did a workshop for young ladies
Mm-hmm.
to learn the Python
Mm-hmm.
programming
Mm-hmm.
program.
Mm-hmm.
So I, yeah, I guess just helping people with their
Right.
resume, networking,
Right.
or educating them. That's
And
really
all
what
of
I'm
that really
passionate.
encompasses, NBC Universal, in
Definitely.
terms of being a champion for others outside of yourself, and stepping outside of yourself to look at someone else's plight and being a
Exactly.
support model. I want to thank you for your time and
Oh,
effort
you're
today.
welcome.
The interview has ended, and I appreciate your efforts in just giving me the window to speak with you.
Oh, thank you. I
Happy
loved
holidays
it.
to you and your
You
family.
too.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.